So here I have 3 Nokta Simplex Pluses, and I have 2,000 hours on all these combined, right? I'm going to do a 2,000 hour review, and I'm going to test them out in my test garden on deeper coins, and I'll show you the differences between these machines and the reasons why I like certain machines in certain conditions. I have the 278, 277, and 267. This machine here I have about 1,300 hours on. It was just repaired twice, actually. The first, after about 1,300 hours of use, my speaker failed on me, and I sent it in, and they brought it back. It took about 3 weeks, and they sent it back, and it didn't work. The coil, there's coil error on it. It was just running all erratic. And I sent it back in, and it took 2 months to come back to me, so that's why I haven't had this machine in a while. But they put a new cover on it. It's the same, I think it's the same inside, the same innards, and you can tell this machine has a lot more hours on it because see the arm cuff right there, the screws, they're all worn out. You know, these ones are fairly new, these ones are fairly new, but these ones are just worn out. You know, this original shaft that I had on this one right here is really weak because I swing really fast and very vigorously. But I'll start out with a 278, and I've been really using this machine a lot lately. But I'll show you why I like the 267 a little bit better. It's a better fit for me, right? I do like the 268 or the 278 in Park 1 mode. So I already ground balanced this machine, and the reason why I don't have those other machines on, because if you're around a 277 with another Simplex, you can't get even 10 feet near that 277 because it's so sensitive. It's so sensitive, and it puts out so much interference on other machines. It's just hard to swing around other detectorists when you have that it messes their machine up and your machine up too. So I already ground balanced it. All of my gain on all these modes on all these machines are all jacked up. That's the way I like running the Simplex. So this is a 9-inch clad half dollar here, and I have it in field mode. 80s, 80s, 90s, 90s, clad half dollar in fairly clean ground. There's a little bit of iron in there, but it's hitting it pretty hard. Super dry soil here, right in the end, towards the end of the summer here. And I'll go to Park 1 mode. 90s, 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 you know, super easy target, you know, big coin, not very deep, 9 inches deep. Park 2 mode. 90s, 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 super easy target, right? Now here's that clad half dollar, or that silver quarter with a bunch of iron around it at 9 inches deep here. I'll start out in field mode and go really slow on it, right? If I'm swinging over that, my normal swing speed, or at a moderate swing speed, I'm not going to hit that thing, man. Right? I'm not going to even hear it swing at my... This is way slower than I usually swing. Just not going to hit it, but it'll hit it if I pinpoint it on it, you know. But I will not be able to hear that target when I'm swinging, right? Park 1 mode. This is the Park 1 mode is a deeper detection, but slower recovery speed than Park 2 mode, right? It should be able to get through this iron a little bit better than the field mode, right? I'm getting a high tone, but not very good numbers. It's really just jumpy numbers. 15, 34, 79, 97, 89. It's still hitting it though. It's still hitting a little bit. And I'll do Park 2 mode. Park 2 mode is a high recovery speed, but a shallower depth detection. It's hitting a little bit there. Now I'll go over this silver dime, mercury dime on its edge at 9 inches deep. Tough target for most detectors, man. Park 2 mode. It's not hitting it. It's hitting it a little bit, but it's just the gain is all the way up. Here's Park 1 mode. 84, 98. Going down the barrel, If the coin is sitting like this, going down the barrel, you're not going to hit that coin. No detector that I've been able used in this test garden has been able to hit that coin going down the barrel. It's hitting it pretty darn good right there. Now I'll go to field mode. Down the barrel, right here. Not hitting it, right? I really like this 2.78 version. But I'll show you the reason why I like the 2.76 version better. Okay? Now I'll turn this machine on. I'll ground balance it and hit those same targets there. And these coins have been here for almost a year. The silver dime there has been there about 8 months. And I'll ground balance it here. Okay, start out in field mode. 9-inch clad half dollar. 98, 98, super easy target, right? Park 1 mode, hitting it really good. It's a little bit jumpy, a little bit more jumpier than the 2.78 in Park 2 mode. Or Park 1 mode. Here's Park 2 mode. Here's that clad half dollar. It was hitting it pretty good. Here's that clad half dollar in Park 2 mode. It's just clicking and popping on me, right? Park 2 mode on the 2.78 was hitting it just a little teeny bit better. I'll go to Park 1 mode. Just iron, man. Little bit of high tone there. Just a little bit, but there's a lot of nails in that hole. Crusty square nails. Just crusty ones. And I'll go to field mode. Not gonna hit it. Just iron. I got one 90s target there. Oh, there's a couple 90s there. But it hears the iron a lot more on the 2.77 version. The reason why I don't use this 2.77 version, and the reason why I'm going to take this Simplex right here and go back to 2.78 and just put my smaller coil on it, so I have a detector ready with a coil on it in 2.78. The reason why I don't like this machine as much is because it's really unstable, jacked all the way up. Sure, people say, oh yeah, just drop the gain down, but it's different tones. The tones change with this 2.77 version when you start dropping that gain down. There's just something about it, I'm not really a big fan of it. So I'm gonna go over to this clad half dollar and I'll show you. Depth is not everything on a detector, right? You want a detector to be able to go deep and shallow at the same time and get through all that trash on the surface. And also, you want it to be stable, right? This machine, I haven't found out any way to get this machine stable. And I dig around a lot of trash and a lot of EMI. So here's that deeper, that 9-inch mercury dime on its edge, right? It's hitting it really good. Right there, just a little teeny bit. Right? Go to park, that's in field mode, Park 1 mode. It's hitting it pretty good right there. I mean, it's still not hitting it very good, right? Here's Park 2 mode. Not gonna hit it. You know, not gonna hit it. Not even a squeak. And I'll show you the reason why I like the 2.67 version right here. This is my favorite machine to use, man. I'll turn it on. And you can see it's beat up, you know, because I use this machine a lot, man. I'll ground balance it here. I gotta wait. But this machine doesn't have a mute button on it. That's why I haven't been using it a lot lately, because it doesn't have a mute button. It's very difficult to make videos without that mute button on there, right? I'll start out, because this one only has 2 modes that I use on it, field and park mode, right? the field mode is a lot faster than those two machines there. This field mode is a lot faster, right? It's a much more stable machine. Look at that, 90s, 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 90s. I'll go to park mode. 90s, 90s, 90s. Super easy target for the Simplex. It's all versions of the Simplex. Now I'll go to this irony hole here, and there's a lot of iron in there, I'm telling you. 90s, 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 15, 91. '90s, 90s, 90s. Hitting it pretty good. I think the 267 version and the 268 version do a lot better in the iron infested areas. So I use these 3 different versions for different conditions and different sites, and I use them a lot. You know, I go back and forth between machines here, and I'll show you this deep coin here. People say that this 267 version isn't as deep as the newer versions. Check this out. I'm getting a little bit on the barrel right there. See that? It's a 9-inch deep mercury I'm on its edge. I'm getting beeps on its edge. I'm getting beeps down the barrel right there, right? Sure, it's kind of running unstable right now, but the 267 is a pretty chattery machine. This is field mode. 90, 90, 80, 90. Down the barrel, right here. 92, 93, 94, 71, 98. This machine, it can go deep. I just wish that they would have just put a mute button on this machine, and it would have been perfect, man. It would have been a perfect machine. But I'm gonna do my 2,000 hour review, and this Simplex has changed the way I detect, really. Because you can swing so fast and you don't miss much. And that's the truth. I have hundreds and hundreds of videos on YouTube to prove that point. It doesn't matter how fast you swing, it's if you know that detector or if you know that version. The 277 version, I haven't used that machine much because it's just a little too unstable for me. The 278 version is toned down, but it still is a deep seeking detector. I've gotten probably 60 or 70 silvers with these machines here, just in the last 8 months or however long it's been out. And I have used the 265 version, which was the Nomad's version. One of my buddies let me use his. He was a Nomad, and that version was good too, but it keeps on getting better and better. I still do like the 267 version a lot because it's so stable. Depth is not everything in a detector, right? You want a stable machine. If you don't have a stable machine, you have to drop the gain down and you're not going nearly as deep. So the 277 version is very susceptible to EMI, and it's very susceptible to mineralized ground. The 278 version is a really good version. I really like the 278 in Park 1 mode. It has very good recovery speed and it has very good depth. The Park 2 mode on the 7.8 is not quite as stable as the 267 version, but it's still, I can put different coils on the newer versions. I'm not going to upgrade this machine here. I'm not going to ever upgrade my 267 because I just like this machine so much. And why should I upgrade it since I have 2 other machines, right? And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to downgrade this machine back to or upgrade this machine to 278 and just put my 8.5-inch SP22 coil on there, or maybe my other coil, my SP24 coil, and just keep it on there. And then I'll just leave this 278. I'll just have two 278s, and I'll just keep my big coil on this version right here. But if you just bought a Simplex and you want to know about its functions and its performance, I have a lot of videos on the performance of the video. I don't really show too much about the functions because it's such a simple machine. There are other videos on YouTube that show you all the functions of it. I don't really use a lot of the functions. I just turn the machine on and go. That's the whole thing about this detector. A person just getting into metal detecting can turn this machine on and just start finding silver. I let a kid in a park the other day use my detector for about 5 minutes, and he found a couple pennies. And then Jim and I went to that same park yesterday, and I let the kid use, probably like 10 or 11, maybe 12 years old, and I let him use my detector again. In 5 minutes, that kid found a deep ring in the bark chips in a playground area. I was just blown away. I don't know if I'm gonna be posting that video because I need to get his parents' permission and all that stuff. So I'm gonna meet up with that kid again today and try to get his parents' permission. But I've seen that so many times. Guys use the Simplex for the first day and they get silver. I mean, all the time, man. I know at least 40 or 50 guys who use their Simplex a lot, and I detect with them a lot. And most of those guys who had their Simplex, their first week they got silver. And a lot of those guys got their first silver with the Simplex ever. So this is my 2,000 hour review, and I think if you have a Simplex, you have one of the best machines ever built. Super durable, super deep, super simple, and it's so fun. I really enjoy. I have over a dozen machines that I use. Not a lot because I've been using a Simplex so much, but this Simplex is so fun to use. That's why I have so many videos on the Simplex, because I just can't resist taking it with me when I go detecting. And I just end up using the Simplex pretty much all day long. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe.